Hi everyone, welcome to today's QuickSight learning series. In today's session, we're going to be talking about how to visualize security-like data with Amazon QuickSight. So my name is Brittany Lee. I'm a solutions architect at AWS. A little bit about me, I've been with AWS for around 4 years now. I've worked with both public sector and commercial customers, helping them migrate, build, and optimize their applications in the cloud. So taking a closer look at today's agenda, I'll start off by giving an overview of Amazon Security Lake, its features, and its benefits. I'll talk about how we can query this Security Lake data using Amazon Athena, and then visualize that data using Amazon QuickSight. I'll then show you how these services work together to create a powerful security analytics solution, and then also give a demo of these services in the AWS Management Console. So starting off, what is Amazon Security Lake? Security Lake automatically centralizes security data from cloud, on-premises, and custom sources into a purpose-built data lake stored in your AWS account. So this data is centralized into Amazon S3, so you can optimize and manage security data for more efficient storage and query performance. Using Security Lake makes it really easy to analyze security data so that you can get a more complete understanding of your security across your entire organization, and it also improves the protection of your workloads, applications, and data. As Security Lake is collecting data from all of these different sources, it also normalizes them into the Open Cybersecurity Schema Framework, or OCSF, which provides a standard schema for common security events, which also makes it easier to combine security data from AWS services and a broad range of enterprise security data sources. So Security Lake automatically partitions incoming data from natively supported AWS services, and it converts it to that OCSF format, but it also converts it to a storage and query efficient Parquet format. So this makes the data compatible with other AWS services and third-party providers without the need for post-processing. Since Security Lake normalizes data, many security solutions can consume this data in parallel as well. So in the back, Security Lake actually uses Amazon or AWS Glue to flatten hierarchical data and standardize it to that common Security Lake-like structure. So using a native AWS service like Glue will not only simplify the deployment, monitoring, and management, which eliminates multi-step logging and retention processes, but it also enables cost-saving benefits through affordable pricing and reducing ingestion and overall movement of this secure data estate. Amazon Security Lake will also increase the visibility into the existing landscape of your secured data by actually improving the protection of sensitive data, while also making it more available for enterprise-wide insights and analytics use cases. So how does Security Lake work? Security Lake is automatically going to gather and manage all your security data across regions and accounts. So logs from native services like Amazon S3, CloudTrail, Route 53, and findings from AWS Security Hub, they're all going to be normalized into that OCSF format and then centralized into Amazon S3. Using Security Lake reduces the operational effort involved in building highly scalable data lakes, because the service automates the configuration and the orchestration of the data lake with the Amazon Lake Formation service. You then can use any of your preferred analytic tools, such as OpenSearch, SageMaker, or Amazon Athena, to analyze and uncover valuable insights into potential security issues, all while retaining control and ownership of your security data. So in today's session, we're going to be using Athena to query and analyze this Security Lake data. As a quick overview, I'm not going to go too in-depth. Amazon Athena is a serverless interactive analytics service that provides a simplified and flexible way to analyze petabytes of data where it lives. So Athena makes it really easy to analyze Amazon S3 and other federated data sources using standard SQL. Athena is able to process structured, semi-structured, and unstructured sets of data. So you don't need to do any formatting or ETL jobs to prepare your data for querying and analysis. So this makes it really ideal for teams who want to perform ad hoc, quick, or complex data analyses. It also makes it really simple for anyone with SQL skills to quickly analyze large-scale data sets. You can also use Athena with machine learning tools like SageMaker or business intelligence and analytic applications like QuickSight to further analyze queries, gain insights, and visualize this data. So here are just some example queries that you would be able to perform in Athena based on the types of logs and findings that Security Lake collects. So for a CloudTrail log, you can perform queries to see something like the data of unauthorized attempts against a specific AWS service. For Security Hub, you can perform a query to get all the findings where the severity is greater than or equal to a certain status. And then for VPC flow logs, you can get a query result back that contains all the traffic information that happens within a specific AWS region. So in the Security Lake user guide documentation, we also provide a whole list of example Security Lake queries that you're able to run in your own accounts. So this has example queries for CloudTrail data, Route 53 logs, Security Hub findings, VPC flow logs, and web application firewall logs. So that's going to be linked in the reference slide of today's presentation. But after you do all this querying in Athena, you may find that the data still needs to be visualized to help paint a better picture for your security operations teams or maybe your CISOs. So from here, what we can do is use the data that was queried in Athena, connect that to QuickSight, and use that to begin creating different graphs and charts to present. So as another quick overview, Amazon QuickSight is a unified business intelligence service that delivers modern dashboards for interactive analytics, paginated reports, embedded analytics, and also has generative AI capabilities using Amazon Q for being able to ask questions in natural language. QuickSight supports a variety of data sources, such as individual databases like Amazon Aurora, MariaDB. It supports data warehouses like Redshift or Snowflake, and also software applications like GitHub or Salesforce. It's also going to support files in delimited text and log formats, as well as semi-structured files in JSON format. So to get started with QuickSight, you would create a new data set by connecting to one of the mentioned data sources or by uploading a file. And then within the QuickSight console itself, there are many tools to prepare and transform your data for analysis. There's over a dozen of visualization types to display your data. There's different ways to query the data, and then you have the ability to publish them to dashboards and share with other users. So as a summary, QuickSight's going to bring a complete interactive dashboarding experience, and it includes key features for data visualization, interactivity, and sharing and collaboration. So with that being said, we can now use QuickSight to use the data that we queried in Athena and build security analytics dashboards to be able to visualize and gain visibility into the data, identify threats, and take timely action to enhance enterprise-wide security. So here is just what a solutions architecture would look like when using Security Lake, Athena, and QuickSight together. So in alignment with our security reference architecture, it's best practice to isolate the Security Lake account from the accounts that would be running the visualization and querying workloads. So in this diagram, we have Security Lake data being stored and cataloged by Glue in account A, and then this catalog is shared to account B by using the AWS Resource Access Manager. So users in account B are then able to directly query the catalog Security Lake data using Athena, or they can get visualizations by accessing QuickSight dashboards that use Athena to query that data. So for demo purposes today, I will be only using one account that acts as both this security lake administrator and the QuickSight visualization account, but I will still walk through the different steps as if I'm using two accounts just to reinforce these best practices. And before I go into the demo, here are just some of the prerequisites that I've already gone ahead and done to ensure that these services will work properly. So I've enabled Security Lake and enabled it to consume some different sources such as VPC flow logs, CloudTrail logs, and Security Hub findings. I've configured the proper IAM permissions for QuickSight, Athena, Lake Formation, and so on. And then I've also signed up for a QuickSight subscription and ensured that it has the proper access to Athena and Security Lake data through Lake Formation. So with that being said, I'm going to switch gears and then head over to the AWS Management Console. All right. So here I am in the AWS Management Console. And as I mentioned, I already went through all the prerequisites. So once you enable Security Lake, it's going to ask you which sources and which regions you want to collect data from. You can view the summary of the sources and regions by clicking on the Sources tab here within the Security Lake console. And then here you can see all the different sources I have enabled. And when you click into them, you can also see the regions that are enabled for these sources. You can also update these configurations at any time. So for example, I don't have EKS audit logs enabled right now, but what I can do is click on to EKS, click on configure. And then again, this is going to show me a whole list of regions that I'm able to enable these logs for. So once I do that, a quick and easy way to make sure that things are configured properly is by simply going to S3. And then here, you're going to be able to see all the different S3 buckets for each region that you've enabled. And once you actually click into a specific bucket, there's going to be folders for each of the different data sources that you enabled. So right here, you can see I've enabled CloudTrail, EKS, Lambda, Route 53, SH, Security Hub findings, and VPC flow logs. Now, something that you may have noticed is that I didn't have EKS audit logs enabled when I first showed the Security Lake console. But if I disable it, it's not going to delete any of the S3 folders that you see here. So I've actually had EKS audit logs enabled initially and then disabled it. And that's why you see the EKS folders in this console still. So once you configure your sources, the next step would be to configure a Security Lake subscriber. So this would be the principal who will access your Security Lake data and consume the logs and events from your Security Lake. So if I click onto Create Subscriber, this is going to show you the two different types of access that a subscriber supports. So the first one being S3 access. This is where subscribers can directly access Amazon S3 objects and then also receive notifications of any new objects through a simple queue service queue or a subscription endpoint. The other type of access is a lake formation access. So with lake formation access, subscribers will have query access and can directly query lake formation tables in your S3 bucket by using services like Athena. So for lake formation, you would choose this access type if you want to have more data governance capabilities and provide fine-grained controls and permissions for your subscribers. So as I mentioned, it's best practice to visualize and query your logs in a different AWS account that you have from your Security Lake account. So here, Security Lake actually requires you to list a account ID that is external to the account you're using right now. So So after you do this, what happens is that Security Lake will share its data catalog tables to the subscriber account using Resource Access Manager. So once this is created, an invite will be sent to the subscriber account, and then that's going to be shown in their Resource Access Manager console. So again, let's just pretend that I have logged off my Security Data Lake account and have logged onto my subscriber account. In this console, this is where you will see the resource share invite. And then once you click into that, you can either accept or deny the invite. And if you accept the invite, you will then be able to access the data shared from the Security Lake account. And that data will be accessible in AWS Lake Formation. So moving over to the Lake Formation console. This is where you would get a view of all the different data catalog tables created from the data sources. And this is where you would see what is exactly shared with you. So what I would do next as a subscriber account is actually create my own database and then create a resource link from these shared databases to be able to start querying the tables. So a resource link is going to act as a pointer to an existing data table or resource that allows other accounts or services to access that table without the need to duplicate the data into their own lake formation data catalog. So essentially, these links can be used in these subscriber accounts to reference the shared data tables from the Security Lake account. And how you would create that is simply by clicking on one of these shared tables, clicking on actions, and then creating a resource link. Once you create that, the resource links will show up in this table in italics. And then from there, you would be able to click on actions and then view data. And that's going to bring you over to the Athena tab. So again, since I am still in the same account, I'm just going to click directly on the table here, and I'm going to click on the CloudTrail logs table to start querying that. So if I click on View Data, that's going to open a new window for me in Athena. So this is where we can actually start to view some of the logs and findings within this data. So when you're in Athena, make sure that you have selected the right database and then you see that all the different Security Lake tables available here. What you can then do is go ahead and run this pre-populated query to make sure that everything is working properly. So in this query, what it's going to do is just show me 10 different events from the CloudTrail management logs. So if you see here, you get 10 results with different information about the CloudTrail logs. What you can also do is, again, go over to the Security Lake documentation and try out some of the different queries that you see here. So as mentioned before, we provide example queries for CloudTrail, Route 53, Security Hub findings, Amazon VPC flow logs, and then AWS Web Application Firewall. What I'm going to do is just select this first example query here for CloudTrail. So unauthorized attempts against AWS services in the last 7 days. I can click on this copy button, go back to my editor, open up a new query, and then paste this example query into my editor. If you're using these example queries, make sure that the database and table names match the ones that you're using in your own account. And in this case, it happens to match exactly with my database and tables. So I can simply run this command. And what this is going to show, it's going to give me 25 events where access was denied to a particular AWS service. It's going to show me information on who tried to access that service, their IP address, the error message, and more. So far we've enabled Security Lake. We've shared the tables with the subscriber to be able to query in Athena. So moving on, we'll now look at how we can use this queried data in QuickSight to start building dashboards. So one very important step you have to do in order to be able to access Security Lake data in QuickSight is to actually grant access using lake formation. So if I go back to the lake formation console, click on data lake permissions, and then click on grant. Here you will see, if you click on the SAML users and groups, this is a place where you're able to enter a QuickSight user ARN to be able to define the tables and databases that your QuickSight users are able to access within your Security Lake. So you are going to need the QuickSight ARN again, and then here you can define which specific databases it has access to, as well as the database permissions. So I've actually already gone and done that, so I can just go directly over to Amazon QuickSight and begin creating a data set based off that Athena data. So when I'm on QuickSight, I'm going to go ahead and click on datasets. I'm going to go ahead and create a new data set, and I'm going to select Athena as the data source. You can enter anything for the data source name. So I'm going to say Security Lake Visualizations. I'm going to leave the Athena workgroup as primary. And then when I create this data source, it's going to connect me to Athena and show me the list of databases that I have access to, as well as the tables that I have access to. So for this demo, I only have access to the CloudTrail management logs, the Security Hub findings, and then the VPC flow logs. So I'm just going to select Amazon Security Lake Security Hub findings, and then I'm going to visualize that. So this takes you to the analysis view. This is where you can add visuals, adjust the layout, and then publish your content to a dashboard for others to view. So first, let's just add a interactive sheet. Change the display mode to fit to width. And then I'm also going to change the name of this analysis to QuickSight Learning Series. So after I've done that, on the left-hand pane, what you can see here is all the different fields that have been extracted from the data tables, and we can now begin creating pictures of our security data by simply selecting the different fields that we want to visualize. So let's just say I want to visualize severity by time. And what QuickSight is automatically going to do is select a chart type that it thinks would be best suited for these different fields. So what you can see here that it has time as the x-axis and y as the y-axis as the number of events. So having a simple graph like this can be very beneficial to your security analysts because this visualization is going to help show these security events over a certain period of time. And that allows them to quickly identify trends, spikes, or anomalies in your security data. We can also change the visual type very quickly by clicking one of these many types of visualizations you see here. and having different types of visuals can be useful in finding new insights in your security lake data. So just as an example, if I were to create a new chart using the field severity again, but this time type, I can change this chart to something like a pie chart. And this is going to break down all the different types of security findings, as well as which severity levels is most prominent within each finding types to help your security analysts get that information more quickly. Another example of a helpful chart can be something like a heat map. So if you are using Security Hub across accounts and across regions, a heat map can help identify hotspots of suspicious activity across all those different regions or accounts. So another thing we can do to help our security analysts understand our dashboard better is to add filtering and interactivity to enhance our visuals and allow the users to answer any follow-up questions related to any initial insights surfaced in the dashboard. So as an example, QuickSight offers a lot of interactive features to quickly allow you to add filters. So when you click on this filter icon, you're able to add filters based off any of the fields listed in this data set. And you're able to drill down into specific event types, regions, or resources. So for this specific chart, let's just say I wanted to add a filter for compliance. And then when I click into this compliance setting, this is actually going to show me a list of all these specific Security Hub findings that I want to have appear in this pie chart. So using this, it's another quick way to allow your users to easily find data that's relevant to them and to their workloads. Another thing that we can do besides adding a filter action are adding navigation actions or URL actions. So a navigation action will direct a user in QuickSight to another chart or another sheet within your dashboard. And then a URL action will actually navigate them outside of QuickSight to a URL. So for this specific chart, let's just say I wanted users to have more information on what severity levels actually mean in Security Hub. What I can do then is go over to the Security Hub documentation, find the URL where it talks about severity levels. I can copy that URL, and then I can paste it in here. So when I save that action, anytime a user clicks on a data point within this visual, that's going to navigate them outside of QuickSight to that Security Hub documentation. So once you've created your visuals, you formatted them the way you wanted, you added interactivity, what you can now do is compile them and publish them into a dashboard for other users to see this data. So I'm going to just publish this into a new dashboard. And this is going to be the view that your users will see when you share the dashboard to them. You can see that it still has all the interactivity that you added into your graph, and they won't be able to edit anything else. So this also helps enforce data permissions and governance with your security lake data. So I know I've gone pretty fast throughout this demo and the slides, but I just wanted to make sure we had time for questions at the end. But in summary, I've created a security lake. I enabled permissions in lake formation for both my subscribers and QuickSight users to be able to query and visualize the data. Then I've also gone into QuickSight to create some of these visuals. One last thing I want to show today is actually the security insights on AWS solution. So this was a solution that was launched this month, and what it does is essentially packages up everything I've done today and more into a CloudFormation template that you are able to use within your own accounts. So this template is going to help you implement Security Lake and all the necessary IAM permissions so that your security team can start taking action on your Security Lake data quickly. And then in QuickSight, as part of this CloudFormation template, it also creates this QuickSight dashboard. And this dashboard comes with different sheets for each of the enabled Security Lake data sources. And within each sheet, it's going to come with predefined charts and widgets to allow you to start analyzing your data immediately. So these different types of graphs show the most common metrics used by security teams, such as a list of most blocked IPs, activity by source IP. For Security Hub, it shows daily count of findings, all the different critical, high, medium, or low findings, and so on. And I haven't completed the implementation process for the solution, which is why there's no data shown here. But you can already see that this solution would be helpful if you want a quick way to visualize your Security Lake data in QuickSight.